You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. A very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guests. First timer on Ron Siegel Radio, Anthony Brenneman, OC Sports Commission. Welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you with us. And I think, I might remember this. Some people don't, Jay, some people don't remember this because they're not old enough like me.
Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter. Welcome back. Jay Burress, Visit Anaheim. Welcome.
Great to be with you again.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home finance related questions, I am a consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. Maybe we'll celebrate if we get a little rain and it cools down a little bit. I'm just throwing that out there. National Tailgating Day. That was on Saturday. I don't know anybody that wanted to be out tailgating on Saturday. That was a little bit warm on Saturday. Being that we weren't here on the first, and we've got Jay here. Jay and I have talked about this one before. The first was National Hotel Employee Day. Got to celebrate the employees at the hotels.
We love those employees,
right? I mean, you can't do without them. It's I spend a lot of times in hotels. Like in my former life, I spent not that way. I spent a lot of time, 30 weeks a year traveling, so I got to appreciate the hotel employees a lot. But today, you got to be careful of this one. Today's National Read a Book Day. Yeah, for guys like me, I can't read, so can we call that Audible Day? I prefer Audible. Another Look Unlimited Day. Let's go. I got a buzzer for that one. National Coffee Ice Cream Day. We'll stick with that one. I think we got a picture of that coming up on the board right now. I'm just a basic guy. Rocky Road, please. Chocolate peanut butter. Those are just the basics. But having beaten anorexia, almost any ice cream will do. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing. But we have to look at this by the minute. It's been up and down day already. It's not even, if you're listening to us broadcasting live as we record in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. So Dow Jones is now up 40 points. It was up more than that to start the day. It was down 40 or 50 points. It's back now to being Dow Jones up 22.79. S&P 500 is up 8.28. The NASDAQ down, now it's up $1.13. Oil, 87 cents, 87.74. It's up 87 cents a barrel. What does that mean for you and me? Well, if you are in the state of confusion where I am broadcasting right now, $5.27 a gallon is the average. $5.27. Josh is at $4.84. We run around our team right here. Josh is at $4.84. Jody's at $3.97 in Arizona. The winner always is Lori. $3.30 a gallon is what they're paying on average in Louisiana. Levin, I don't have yours on the screen, so I can't show that one. In the oil-producing state of Hawaii, they're at $5.30 a gallon. No, they don't produce oil in Hawaii. $5.30 a gallon. Maybe you can run off of pineapple juice and rum. I don't know. The statewide or the country, $3.78 a gallon. $3.78 is the price of gasoline. And when we see that the oil right now is trading at 87.90, that means we're right about where we should be on the oil prices. But wait a second. Our friends, our friends over in the Middle East.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, they decided that being the gas prices and oil prices are down, they're going to cut production. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? And they're going to do that in October. You think they want to have any influence on the elections as if we see that happening? Well, who knows? We'll watch and see what happens with that. Let's see what else is going on in the world today. The world is good. I did notice, I'm a sports fan and I am a USC fan. And because of being a USC fan, I do tend to keep the fight song right here on our soundboard. Drive some of my Bruin fans batty when I play that and welcome them in onto the show. But what is it, 66-16 or something like that over the weekend? I don't know if that's going to happen every week, but it sure be nice, wouldn't it? And Oregon, what a shame they lost. And, one of my two favorite teams, or one of my three favorite teams, Ohio State. Of course, it was just because they were playing Notre Dame. They won. So that was a good day for USC fans. But now we get to go turn to professional football. I wonder if the Rams will be able to go back-to-back. We might have an opportunity to talk sports when we get to talking to Anthony here in just a minute. But what else is going on in the markets? We're watching all of them. If you think that we're going to see some benefits, and I know some people still think we may get benefits in the student loan issues, I'm telling you right now, don't count on it. But if we do, I did put together an article here for you, and I'll find it here in just a second. But we've got an article for you on a few things you need to do to get ready to apply for student loan forgiveness, if the website ever works. But here are just a few of the things that you're going to probably need to do. Make sure you have qualified based on your income is number one. Now, the president put forth that you have to be making less than $125,000 per year. Well, I hope you're making more than that, but I don't know. Or $250,000 if you are married, head of household, $250,000. Okay, so then you might get a $10,000 benefit there. Although if you did get a Pell Grant, that means $20,000 for you. Don't know whether it's going to be adjusted gross income or W-2 income. We're going to still have to wait and find out. Wait a second. The president's going to give away almost $1 trillion. I wonder how he does that. I wonder if the people that have student loans, do you think they know the Constitution and think that spending money is a job of Congress and not the president? But I digress. Let's see. Let's make sure that your loans qualify. That's another issue. The vast majority, roughly 37 million borrowers, will be eligible for forgiveness based on their loan type because their debt is under what's called the William D. Ford Federal Direct Loan Program. That includes direct Stafford loans and all direct subsidized and unsubsidized federal loans under the direct program. Parent Plus and grad loans are also eligible for relief. If you're one of the 5 million borrowers with a commercially held Federal Family Education Loan, FFEL, for those of you keeping score, your debt is actually held with a private company and not the government. Sorry. Make sure you're included in forgiveness sooner rather than later. You may want to consolidate your loan into the direct loan program. Get your records together. It's not yet entirely clear what the application for student loan forgiveness will look like. If you've ever seen a FAFSA form, you're not going to be very happy. But that's the way the government does things. They make things a little bit challenging for us. But you're going to want to get some documents ready. Around 8 million borrowers who have enrolled in income-driven repayment plans may not have to attest their income because the government already has the data. Do you think they saved that? I doubt it. For everyone else, it may help to hang on to the tax returns you dug out for the step number 1 above and print your loan records from step number 2. When you log into studentaid.com, the grants tab lets you look up if you received a Pell Grant in your undergraduate years and are eligible for $20,000 in relief. If you received a Pell Grant, take a screenshot or print out the document confirming that fact. Number 4, stay up to date with the process. Yes, you're going to have to be listening to RonSiegelRadio.tv, RonSiegelRadio.com, any of our socials, ABC, News and Talk, AM 1490. We'll have it. KKGO, we'll put all the information right out there for you. The deadline to submit an application for forgiveness will be December 31st, 2023. Think that's going to help with the student loan debt? Not a chance. And I think it's going to help with tuitions? Not a chance there either. But I am going to share with you, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can get student loan, the tuition to drop. I've shared this on social channels. You want to watch how quickly the schools start managing their money a little bit better. Get rid of the Bush era rule that you couldn't that student loan debt was not dischargeable in bankruptcy. Add some risk back to the schools and watch how they become a little more prudent if they think that it's their money that's going to be lost instead of the students' money that's going to be lost. Think about that. Now, do we need to have the government making money off of our kids? No. What happens if we make people pay their student loans back? But what about doing it interest-free? Think about that concept. Just a couple of thoughts there to help with student loans and the issues going on. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to learn about OC Sports Commission. What is that? Rob Manfred, you better watch out. They're coming after you. Visit Anaheim. We're going to talk about that, how owning a home builds your net worth, and we may get to how to get ready now. Well, we already did that one, so we're not going to do that anymore. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily Home and Finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule an appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990. S&P 500 is now down 6.28. The 10-year Treasury is up 11 basis points, 3.345. That's great for our seniors, not so good for home borrowers. Mortgage-backed securities, they're down 78 basis points. That is a huge drop. What does that mean? Well, that means interest rates are up, and every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. What did loans actually lock at on Friday? 30-year conforming 5.87, jumbo 5.716, FHA 30-year 5.676, USDA for those rural borrowers, nothing down here, 5.672, and the best loan on the market for those that actually earned it. You can't just apply, you have to have earned it. The VA loan, 30 years, 5.516. But why? Why is all of this happening? Why are the rates going up the way they're going up? What's driving this market? Well, we're still going there from the Powell plunge. That happened a couple weeks ago. We saw what happened when he came out and told us about what was going on and what he was planning on doing. It's going to be painful. They told us that over and over again. Going to go into recession. They told us that over and over again. They want to get the inflation down. That would be helpful. But we got a great jobs report on Friday. Or did we? 82% of the gain in the jobs report was from 16 to 19-year-olds. Full-time employees lost 230,000 jobs, showing that all the gain was in part-time employment. When factoring this in, along with 100,000 in negative revisions, it was not as strong as the headlines would make you believe, and looks a lot more like the ADP employment report, which is based on 25 million people that they survey. If interest rates come down, it can be an opportunity to make more money, and inflation is the main driver of interest rates. We have seen a big decline in many commodities from their peak. A few examples: lumber, which is down 66%. Wheat is down 44%. Copper is down 30%. Goods account for 40% of the CPI inflation index, and with the decline in many commodities from their peak, along with higher inflation comparisons from last year and Fed hikes starting to really take hold on the economy, we could start to see inflation picture get a little bit better in the fourth quarter. Wonder where we heard that before. We've been telling you that for 6 months already, that's when we would see the benefit of inflation and we would see the numbers get better. As we told you, it's going to come in October. So we'll see if that is accurate. So we're watching all those numbers for you. 10-year Treasury, yeah, well, we're still watching that number, and that's a scary number because it's up, but we've still got that inflation, the recession index is not looking good. So we already had 2 negative quarters. Third quarter GDP is actually looking a little bit better, so maybe we won't have the recession continuing on, but it's coming back. You heard it here first on Ron Siegel Radio. Sorry to be the bearer of realism. Didn't mean to do that to you. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial when you're ready for that next home loan. Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Well, we got some fun today. We get to talk about all this business stuff and recession and some of these realities. And as you know, every week we bring you 3 different events of the week brought to you by Visit Anaheim. Well, our friends from Visit Anaheim, Jay Burress is here with us. Welcome. Glad to have all these great events. Now I don't even have to think anymore, Jay. I can just look at the list that you and Bree.
We'll give you everything you need.
Everything I need to know. Go and have. I can be romantic and actually, my wife actually thinks I made a plan or something. All I did was read the notes that you guys send over. Bree sends me every week, so that's good news. My grandkids can have family time, and if we got a big event, you guys send it all. Got it made. So what's going on with Visit Anaheim? What's new in the world of conventions and all that good stuff?
We've had some great things going on. Had a great summer. Great summer with visitation. Hotels did very well. Conventions are coming back. Today's the pre-con for D23, the big Disney event at the convention center. So it is an exciting time to see it coming back the way it's coming. Some of it looks a little different, but some of it are a little less attendance, but sometimes they are bringing in more conventions to make up for that. But it's been a great summer as we lead into back to school now. There's a small dip, but the future looks very promising.
Nice. And you know something, if you would have come in here a month ago and mentioned pre-con and D23, I wouldn't have had any clue what it was. But we talked about it last week and told everybody that they need to be going to see that big Disney event.
It's a great event for us, and we have it every few years. And if you're a fan of Disney, it's everything Disney all in one spot at the convention center.
What's this? If you're a fan of Disney,
Everyone.
Everyone's a fan of Disney. And we grew up with Disney. I still hear the Lion King in my head. My oldest son, he just loved that song over and over and over again. And now my son works there, so Disney's part of our culture.
Absolutely. I even have my Mickey Mouse socks on today and to pay tribute.
I'm glad that he's just doing Mickey Mouse socks. We don't want to go there too far there, Jay. But that's good stuff. So D23 is coming up. Is that one of your bigger conventions?
It is one of the larger one that repeats. There are larger shows, but this is the fan conventions like a D23, like a VidCon, like some of the BlizzCon or the other fan type conventions are really, their attendance has been stronger than some of the other type associations and corporations because they're true fans and they want to get out there and be a part of it. Some of the others may be limited by travel restrictions or by corporate decisions and travel policies. But the fan conventions, which we do a lot of here in Anaheim, are going very, very strong.
That's fun to hear because that means that the individuals, as far as a company tells you where to go, but an individual decides where they want to go, right? So that's telling us that the individuals want to get back out and go do things.
And the WonderCons of the world that we have in town, and everyone comes in, their attire for the event, and it's just fun to watch and see people so excited and into their fandom of that item. So we love having those. It definitely adds some additional color to the resort district when you're in Anaheim.
Well, you know something, when I've been over there taking my son to or from work, I'll watch it, and I think it's probably something that Anthony's more involved with or as much involved with, is we've watched them having some of the cheer competitions over there and watching them, the young ladies just walking from whatever the hotel is going, I guess whether they're finishing their events or going to another event or walking to the park. It's great watching that all over the youth and the excitement.
And that's kind of what started us down this path of sports and going after the sports and visit Anaheim, creating what was called Sports Anaheim. And cheer was an event we did well, but also volleyball we did well. We wanted to see what else is out there, and that's where this all started, going after the sports market.
So explain a little bit what you're doing with sports.
Well, we saw that the demand was there. We've got the perfect destination for the amateur sports market. So that's your volleyball tournaments, that's your cheer, that is your basketball tournaments, that is your soccer, that's your surf event, all of those, they're more in the amateur status. So we formed a coalition of different destinations within the county, as well as different venues within the county. And we all go after, with one effort, these sporting events that make an economic impact on the county, as well as cultural and community impact because of what sports brings together. And when the athletes come, usually their families come with them. So it's even more of an economic impact for the hotels, for the restaurants, for the shops throughout the destination. So it's a win-win for everybody.
I can't say much about the women's sports just because I couldn't figure out how to make girls. I made 3 boys, or helped, I should say. So I understand that we traveled a lot with football, and the whole group went, and it was just a great time, and the camaraderie that sports brings. And so many people just forget about all the other garbage that's going on in the world when you're dealing, with the kids' sports. And then you get to the professionals. I mean, obviously, I'm an Angels fan. Been so my whole life. I grew up right near Disneyland. Been tough. We had one good year. But as an Angel fan, you still we still get heckled by our friends over at Dodger Stadium. But the Angels and the Rams and Ducks, got it all going on.
Great history of sports here.
How do you filter that down though? I mean, I know when the Ducks came to Anaheim, all of a sudden or actually I guess probably it was Gretzky coming to LA, but it really, I never heard of anybody playing ice hockey in Southern California until they came.
Well, they brought a lot of that, and throughout the southern United States, they've really expanded. That's been their growth market, and that's opened up opportunities for other events because of the different sheets of ice that are appearing throughout the county. We were able to bring in the Olympic curling qualification event, which was there at the Great Park. So who would have thought we would have an ice event here in Orange County? But it's happening.
I'm sure glad that they weren't trying to do that this week.
That's a bad week.
It would have been tough to keep that. No matter what you do, it'd probably be tough to keep the ice cold this week. But curling, that's an interesting one.
So we've had everything from weightlifting to big surf events to, of course, the Wooden Legacy basketball tournament that we've had here for years. So it's a great sports history here, great Olympians throughout the county, and the eyes of the world will be on our region coming up in a few years, and we want to be ready for that.
So will college sports, is that considered amateur? Is that considered professional? Where does that fit in?
It's always been considered amateur. We'll see what happens with the changes in the being paid for likeness and so forth with college sports. But for the most part, they're considered amateur to come in with their events that can bring in, whether it's the college basketball, volleyball, or others.
Yeah, I was wondering, just because when I was, I used to have sports pack tickets over at the pond. It was at the time, right? And the tickets for the Elite 8 or Sweet 16 that they did over there, something like that. And I think that our high school football team brought in more people, unless you had one of the big local schools in it. So you just wonder where some of those fit.
Well, that's growing as the sports market continues to expand. That grows up more sports fans, which then entail, in turn, kind of brings in more fans for those type of events. And we've been a great place for those types of events, whether it's the basketball big events at the Honda Center. We've also had things like very large gymnastics events. Figure skating is a growing part of our county and our area.
Interesting.
And
I never knew that one.
Yeah, it's really a target market for their governing bodies, because there's been some success here, some successful Olympians coming out of this area, and that's really a growth area for them.
Wow, great information. We're going to continue our conversation with Jay Burress. And well, I guess we can't continue with Anthony, but we're going to bring Anthony into the conversation when we come back. We're going to also chat a little bit about how owning a home builds your net worth, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. You want to know what your house is worth? Well, right there, fourth tab, it's going to tell you exactly what 4 different automated valuation models say it's worth, including the one that starts with a Z and is generally wrong. But it's there, so you don't have to go to their site and look for it. But there's 4 of them there. If you want to shop for a home anywhere, about 97% of the country is covered. First tab, rsrhomescout.com. How owning a home builds your net worth. Owning a home is a major financial milestone and an achievement to take pride in. One major reason the equity you build as a homeowner gives your net worth a big boost. And with high inflation right now, the link between owning your home and building your wealth is especially important. If you're looking to increase your financial security, here's why. Now could be a good time to start your journey toward home ownership. Owning a home is a key ingredient for financial success. A report from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, details several home ownership trends, including a significant gap in net worth between homeowners and renters. It finds, quote, the net worth of a homeowner was about $300,000, while that of a renter was about $8,000 in 2021. That's national. Southern California might have a greater gap. To put that into perspective, the average homeowner's net worth is roughly 40 times that of a renter. This difference shows owning a home is a key step in achieving financial success. Equity gains can substantially boost a homeowner's net worth. The net worth gap between owners and renters exists in large part because homeowners build equity. When you own a home, your equity grows as your home appreciates in value and you make your mortgage payments each month. As a renter, you don't have the same opportunity. A recent article from CNET explains, quote, home ownership is still considered one of the most reliable ways to build wealth. When you make monthly mortgage payments, you're building equity in your home. When you rent, you aren't. You're not investing in your financial future the same way you are when you're paying off a mortgage. But on top of that, your home equity grows even more as your home appreciates in value over time. That has a major impact on the wealth you build. As a recent article from Bankrate notes, quote, building home equity can help you increase your wealth over time, and home is one of the only assets that have the potential to appreciate in value as you pay it down. In other words, when you own your home, you have the advantage of your mortgage payment acting as a contribution to forced savings account that grows in value as your home does. And when you sell, any equity you've built up comes back to you. As a renter, you'll never see a return on the money you pay out in rent. Bottom line, owning a home is an important part of building your net worth. If you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, have them give us a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area-trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Continue our conversation. Jay Burress is with us. Visit Anaheim. Anthony Brenneman is with us. OC Sports Commission. Anthony, tell us a little bit. What is the OC Sports Commission?
Yeah, so in a nutshell, we like to use kind of a big example, but if you ever wondered how the Super Bowl moves around every single year, or how the Olympics picks a city, or it could even be something that's smaller, like a volleyball tournament or like a major cheer competition for youth. Sports commissions exist in their local communities, in their cities, their metropolitan areas, really to be the backbone to lead these bid processes. So they go out, they try to find these events. There's usually an RFP. And
okay, I'm a simple guy. What's an RFP mean?
Good question. A request for proposal.
Okay.
So what we do is then we put a proposal out, or we counter that with a proposal to events rights holders, national governing bodies, major sports leagues, etc. And we want to bring these events to our community, ultimately to help bring more economic vitality, social, cultural vitality to our communities by hosting these different events. And the Sports Commission's role is really to be that main liaison between the public and the private sector to make that happen.
So are you the public or are you the private?
We're actually a nonprofit.
Okay, so you're somewhere in between those.
Correct.
Okay. So guys like me who thought, okay, well, the Super Bowl went to SoFi because the Rams paid a lot of money and they built this beautiful stadium. It's more to it than that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot more to it than that when you look on the back end of things. So a lot of these events rights holders or national governing bodies need help when they come into the community of, okay, we have all these ancillary events that are going on. We need someone to provide anything from like chairs, tables. It could be what they did in LA. They did a business connect meeting for a diversity supplier program. There could be an award ceremony like they did with the Super Bowl. There's galas. There's everything else that kind of comes with it. So they need a liaison to help connect everybody. Kind of think of it like a chamber of commerce almost.
Okay.
So you're the one, or we're the ones talking with those private sector partners and saying like, hey, listen, we want to bring this big event to town. This is going to bring you business. This is, opportunity to make money in a traditional time that you might not be making money. And then also too, from the public sector standpoint, the public sector loves to see it because they're making tax revenues. So you could look at your sales tax revenue. You could look at your hotel bed tax revenue, which is every night that you stay in a hotel, you pay a tax, and then that goes back then into a city or a county or a convention and visitors bureau, et cetera. So all that stimulation is what the Sports Commission is looking to benefit from on all different levels.
So this last year, I went to a Hall of Fame dinner fundraiser for my friend Warren Moon.
Yeah.
Is he the one that would do something? He would go through you guys to kind of try it, or you guys would search out him to try and have that kind of a big gala that he would put on?
So
am I catching on a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. So really what our goal is to bring in visitors that are from out of town.
Okay.
So they're the ones that are going to come in. They're going to spend money. It's something might not be taking place here. It might be a one-off event. So we're looking really to bring in those visitors and tourists to come in. We do, on the other hand, when you're talking about galas like this, we do support our community from an educational, also a professional development standpoint, and I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit later about the Sports Speaker Series, some of the other initiatives that we use sports to kind of uplift our communities. So that's another fold of what we can kind of do for our communities. But usually when we're talking about the events industry, it's always trying to find something that's not taking place here and is going to bring in those visitors.
So when the Super Bowl, and I go back to that one because I'm ignorant and just can throw out things that I
That's a good
understand a little
example.
bit. Super Bowl came and it was in Inglewood, and they probably don't have a whole lot of hotel rooms in Inglewood. You would have people that may want to stay in Orange County, and then you'd set up transportation or events out here. Would that be something you would do?
Yeah, so there was actually a Super Bowl was a good example of in downtown Disney, actually Disneyland Park. ESPN did their NFL Live there. So with them tied into ESPN and ABC, they did a bunch of their shows there that people could actually go that were in the park to watch it live and see their most favorite personalities. So there are ancillary, or you could say compression events that take place with that. There's plenty of people too that come in for events like that are saying, hey, I want to make this into a vacation as well. So I'm going to go down to Huntington Beach. I'm going to go see Disneyland. Maybe I want to check out another beach destination in Orange County. Maybe I want to go to Knott's Berry Farm. So a lot of them, and one of the great things about Southern California in general is, this is a destination that people can have vacations at. It's not something that you just want to fly into for like 2 days and be done with it. We want to incentivize them to stay, spend money, and reap the benefits.
We're spoiled. So I just had this conversation over the weekend. I had no idea we would be doing this today, but I just had this conversation over the weekend with how spoiled we are in Southern California. We've generally got great weather. We've got professional sports. We've got, and I stay in Orange County. My car sputters at the county line, so I just stay here in Orange County. We've got the Angels, we've got the Ducks, we've got Disneyland, we've got Knott's Berry Farm. And we forget the fact that people spend tremendous amounts of money. They work hard all year, maybe even for many years, to save to go on a vacation to something that we could do every day. Right? I mean, we were just talking about the fact that my son, I told you works at Disneyland. And where someone said, well, is Disneyland really opened on Thanksgiving? I said, well, yeah, it is, because people want to be there, right? You've got all these things. You can tie an event in, but it doesn't necessarily just have to be people that are coming from out of town. I have a lot of friends that their staycation is at the Disneyland Hotel, and they only live 20 minutes from there.
Right.
Right now, there's a few more hotels you can even stay at if you get tired of just staying at the one property.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming from a kid that grew up in Pennsylvania Amish country, I don't take it for granted as much as some individuals that live around here. So to me, it's an embarrassment of riches, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, right? Especially if you haven't studied Amish country, it's a big difference between the Amish way of life and what we enjoy here. Right, that's a big world of difference. So tell me a little bit, what has the commission got coming up? I mean, I think about sports commission and automatically my mind goes to professionals. Mm-hmm. You're talking before that you're really looking more toward amateurs.
Yeah, so every destination's different. So you have to understand what your bread and butter is. So for Orange County, we have a plethora of youth sports facilities, whether it's down in the Irvine Great Park, multiple soccer fields, baseball, softball. There's some ice facilities over in Huntington Beach. They have a sports complex too as well. I mean, you can even go further into South County, down into San Clemente, San Juan Capistrano. So that's something that we have as an advantage to us. There's other destinations that really only have major arenas or stadiums. LA is a good example of, they're really just looking at doing the major sporting events. They don't necessarily have some of those amateur recreational facilities. So for us, we do look at a lot of youth events that are coming to town. A lot of them just took place over the summertime. So we had some major softball competitions. Premier Girls Fast Pitch just took place. Then we also
I couldn't even handle that. I mean, I watched how those girls pitch, and I'm, holy cow, they're pitching faster than young Mr. Clemens did last night when he struck out Shohei. But that's a whole different story. We're going to talk more with Anthony, and when Jay would come back, a speaker series. Wonder what that could be, and a golden ticket. I think I might want that one myself. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Love and really skip out on our Borrow Smart segment so I can talk more with the gentleman here. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number one on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily Home and Finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule an appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I will give you the tout, the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by the National Institute of Financial Education. I am a speaker for them, and I like to share with folks all the time, it's important to keep your FICO score up. Just a difference between a 650 FICO and a 720 FICO, $236 a month on a $500,000 loan, roughly. Numbers change every once in a while. But just remember my favorite saying, FICO, get it up. That's the Borrow Smart segment today, brought to you by the National Institute of Financial Education. Easy for me to say. Seems like it must be a Monday morning or something. I don't know. But hey, let's continue our conversation. We are talking this morning. Jay Burress, Anthony Brenneman are with us. Visit Anaheim and the OC Sports Commission. And being a sports junkie, and I love listening to this kind of stuff because, I was almost going crazy. It was a couple days ago when there was no sports on. I didn't know what am I going to do? I mean, yesterday, early in the day, and other than the U.S. Open, right? What could you watch in sports? I thought we were going to have some football and I didn't know what to do with myself. I almost had to go out to the pool and hang out there. But let's talk about youth sports. So that's what you were talking about a little bit about before, Anthony, is bringing youth sports to the area. I do want to get to give us that one trivia that you told us about during the last break. The Ducks coming to Anaheim.
Yeah, so there, I read a lot of books, and there's a book.
Today's National Reading Day, right?
Yeah, there you go. And there's a book called Disney War that came out, and it talks about Michael Eisner's son. Actually, this is the former president and CEO of the Walt Disney Company. His son actually played hockey growing up, and when he was pitched on the Mighty Ducks as a movie script, he loved it just because his son played it. He understood the sport and everything in the early 90s, I want to say. And then that movie ended up becoming a massive hit. And after it became a massive hit, Michael Eisner then called up Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the NHL, and said, hey, what can we do to kind of buy into the NHL and get a franchise? And then the rest was history to negotiate a deal and eventually bring the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, and now what we know as the Anaheim Ducks.
Nice. Okay, so thanks to Michael Eisner, we get to have a fun event to go to, and hopefully we'll get back in the winning ways. And I go back to the Paul Kariya days, so that was a good time with Paul Kariya, Teemu Solani. Now they're gone, Getzlaf's gone, so got a whole new era coming up.
Yeah.
But let's get back. But something, one of the things that we could probably take from that, though, is I when I was young, I didn't even know about ice hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It wasn't something, I mean, from Pennsylvania, you probably knew ice hockey, but here in Anaheim, I mean, our idea of, we didn't even think about ice hockey. That the youth are now playing ice hockey. Yeah.
So, and that's the thing that I'm going to always be preaching is Orange County is its own market. It's its own identity. It's its own brand. And when a situation like that arose back in the early 90s for the NHL to come in, it really wasn't an extension of LA. It was its own market out here. So the Ducks have been able to kind of carve out their own niche. They've been able to develop it by working with different venues and then purchasing and buying different venues to rename them the rinks. And they've really built this ecosystem for hockey and ice sports in general throughout the whole county to uplift and bring ice sports as a major sport for our youth as they grow up. So that's what led to a lot of what we see today of kids playing all these different ice competitions.
You know, you think about it, and I don't even hear about anything else. I mean, my opinion was it was the Kings getting Gretzky is what opened up all of Western America.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to imagine one guy could have had that kind of an impact. But I don't hear about, you know, a lot of the ice events in LA County or Riverside County. You know, that seems like it's just an Orange County issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the amateur rinks and where the kids are playing. And my opinion is you get the more we can get the kids into the hockey and football and little league and soccer and gymnastics and dance and all of these different events, they're not on the street, and they're getting a good mold to be good citizens growing forward.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's kind of what you said earlier is you're building that, or maybe Jay said it, where you start off with them enjoying a sport and they become tied to that throughout life. Right?
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, to piggyback off of that too, I mean, you know, we want to look at creating a healthy lifestyle. So, you know, you want kids to stay fit. You know,
you didn't have to go there, Anthony. I'm oversized, and now you're talking about staying fit.
Yeah, staying fit.
So, Levin, we have to mute his mic. I don't know about, but no, I want to hear a little bit. Tell me about the speaker series. What's that all about? Because I love going to events and
Mm-hmm.
hearing it, and I'm a knowledge nerd.
Right.
So even though I can't play sports, you know, I love to learn about them,
and that's what it's for, honestly, too. So it's one of our
world's best Monday morning quarterback with a lot of other people, right?
So it's going to be one of our key cornerstones or key pillars for the Sports Commission moving forward. So it really is something to promote, to conversate, educate, and celebrate Orange County is the way that we're looking at it.
So I'm glad, Bree, I'm glad you didn't put that into my conversation because I couldn't even say all those things together. Conversate,
educate, and celebrate Orange County when it comes to sports.
Ooh, okay.
So, and the way that we're looking at it is
Jay, now I know why you brought him.
So we want to have engaged our public in Orange County to going back to the whole brand and identity initiative to say, hey, what are important topics that are going on in sports that we can relate back to Orange County in certain ways. So for this first one that we have coming up, it's going to be a quarterly series. So it's coming up on September the 8th, so this week at Knott's Berry Farm Hotel. It's going to be celebrating the Title IX anniversary, which was the gender equity bill that the Nixon administration, Orange County local, actually passed in 1972. And it is for the women that champion Orange County sports. So we're using it as an homage to some of the women's sports executives that, as it relates back here to Orange County. So we have Kim Badir, the GM of the Honda Center, soon to be OC Vibe. We have Rebecca Schulte, who
Wait, back up. Honda Center is going to be OC Vibe, or she's going to be part of OC Vibe?
The rebranding and renaming of Honda Center will be OC Vibe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be Honda Center anymore.
No. So OC Vibe, and not to get off track too much, is OC Vibe is basically going to be the sports and entertainment company that oversees the Honda Center, the Ducks, the Goals, which are down in San Diego, the rinks, which are their practice facility.
Okay.
And the whole entertainment complex they're building over there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then we have Rebecca Schulte, who's with Senior Vice President of Valley Sports, which is where you can watch both the Ducks and the Angels actually play their or broadcast their local games. And then we have Christy Giddings from the Big West Conference. She is their deputy commissioner. So it's a collegiate sports conference that's actually located down in Irvine. So that is the conference that Cal State Fullerton, UC Irvine, Long Beach State are all part of. So they'll be speaking on this panel, and what we're using it as is a way to bring in sports industry professionals that exist here in Orange County, and kind of give them, an area of their own to find professional development, talking about that education component, and then also networking opportunities out here. How can they grow their career that they get from this panel discussion? How can they meet maybe somebody there at the panel discussion that they might not meet elsewhere?
How do we get tickets?
So to get tickets, you can actually just go to our website. So that's ocsportscommission.com. So we actually have a link there. Hero Shot.
That's plural, sports with an S?
Yep.
Okay. ocsportscommission.com. Okay.
Yep. And you can actually just go right on there. There's a Hero Shot, and we'll redirect you. So it's about $32 for general admission, and then we actually have a student price too as well, because we care about educating those students that want to work in the sports industry, for $18. So right now there's about 85 people that are registered. So good turnout. Our goal was to get 50. And most of them are from all different sports organizations, then business leaders, politicians, etc., that will be attending this event.
Awesome. We got about a minute left. I want to hear about this golden ticket.
Golden ticket. All right. So this is a fundraiser campaign that we've been pushing for the past 6 months. So what we've done is we worked with our partners from the Ducks, the Angels, Disneyland, and Knott's Berry Farm, each to donate 2 season tickets from their respective industries. And we combine that all as one, and we raffle it off to one lucky winner. It's about a $5,000 value. We sell the sweepstakes ticket for $100 a pop. And we also limit the number that we sell. So you actually have pretty good odds. I think the max what we sell is about 500. So if you take that into consideration, plus the $100 that you're paying going for a good cause, I think you have actually pretty good odds to winning the whole thing.
And when's that going to be raffled?
So that is going to be raffled on September the 23rd. So
September 23rd.
So we're about 16 days out from that. And you can also go to our website, ocsportscommission.com. Once again, it will hit you right in the face as soon as you get on our landing page to purchase a ticket there too as well. And it's something we plan on doing on an annual basis.
That's great. Sounds like a a lot of fun. I mean, you can have a good time when you got Angels, Ducks, Disney, and Knott's. Holy cow. When are they going to listen to Ron Siegel Radio? I mean, come on now. We're going to have a problem here.
Hey, you should purchase a ticket.
Maybe I will. Great information. If you want more information about any of these items that we've talked about today, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss it, again, ocsportscommission.com, ocsportscommission.com. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Lovin and Sean who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.